I had a question, a little bit more. I want to dive a little deeper on the case for support. That seems to be like a pretty comprehensive endeavor to take on an organization, and I'm curious how this lives in the in its different iterations. Because I've seen it in a booklet form, but I'm assuming you mentioned something about a video, so it could be in video format. I'm assuming that could also be turned into ongoing commentary on social media, on the website. So I'm just curious how that expands to the different mediums.
I'll tell you, Jordan, I'll go back to the first thing I said earlier today. Your case for support is not marketing collateral. It doesn't mean that you're not going to use pieces of your case for support on social media and on your website, etc. And yes, we want our donors to hear our case for support in different ways. We want to present it in the video with not just a bunch of talking heads per se from your team. We also want testimonies of lives changed, just like you're going to have written testimonies in your case for support. We want to see whatever it is you are building, or the space where you serve an issue or a cause or a population, bring it to life in your video, bring it to life in high resolution professional photographs, not old photographs from the 1990s that you still have, unless it's in your timeline, but professional photos in your case for support. But primarily, we want you to take that document. And as Richard was sharing earlier, he was able to take the document and go sit down face to face with a donor. They have a copy, you have a copy, and you are there to relationship build and test the case for support. So you're going to share that different elements of the case for support. It includes the history and mission, who you serve, how you serve, the impact your organization has had historically, but also what we call project case. Here's the vision of the strong CEO over the next 3 or 5 years, and the budget page. Here's what it's going to cost to get from our as is state to the to be state. And then let me not make you run out of the room with your hair on fire, but you've all been marketed to as nonprofit executives about storytelling. Tell a better story. This is all about your nonprofit storytelling. And I am here to tell you that is wrong. It's about 15 to 20% your storytelling, which is in your case for support and your video and your social media. It's 80% story listening. How many of you are sitting down with your donors and asking them about their lives? How did you get into your career? Tell me about your family, your kids. Are you from this area? People will start sharing things, and then you say, tell me how you may connect to our mission. I sat with a donor for a domestic violence shelter who shared his sister was a victim of domestic violence and came and lived with his family for a year with her children. I've sat with a donor who was an adopted child who's now giving to a foster and adoption agency. People connect to your mission. Let them tell you so that you can listen your way to the gift. And then you get to lean in and say, I understand how our mission meets your goals to impact those who were in the same situation you were in. Would you mentor me through, Jack, how we can approach you and your family for a major gift to the campaign that will inspire other donors?